Welcome. My name is Sharon Rolfe, and I'm a retirement and spark coach, a behavioral scientist, and a certified knowledge manager. Now, today, our agenda, I'm going to welcome you actually first to take notes, make some comments below this video to say something about yourself, your background, your experience, your current situation, and we'll see what's possible in terms to find your real self, what you're doing now, and what's working, maybe even what's not working, and the number one thing holding you back. Let's map out a plan to get you where you want to go faster. You'll leave the call feeling clear, confident, and excited about taking your life to the next level. Or feel free to use Messenger to send a private message. I'm curious, how did you find me today? What intrigued you to want to watch my video? What would you like to see or have happen in your life? On a scale of major stress events, retirement falls in the top 10. When leaving your job, your career, your livelihood behind, and it's highly stressful. It probably stems from our careers, our expertise and work life consuming about 90,000 hours over our life. Unless you've been careful to balance your work and personal life, you could be vulnerable to an identity crisis once your job and your title ends. When it's time to pivot into retirement, a severe case of who am I may show up, especially when you've worked tons of overtime, had an intensely competitive career, or worked as a high achiever. When your sense of self is gone, confusion and exhaustion result. No wonder some people struggle in retirement. Without a task, a project, or responsibility, you need a new sense of doing one's part for society to restore your self acceptance. And most retirement planners don't help you with this. So, what are the two challenges that are preventing you from having a marvelous retirement? For a bit of my story, being invisible was, as a young teen, was my desire because it felt I was safe. I did okay in my career and becoming a lifelong learner and got a master's degree. Yet life was rather ho hum. It wasn't until I was over 65 that I had a breakthrough. I got courageous enough to express my uniqueness at my last job and be the real me. Yet, when I retired, I soon got frustrated, wondering how could I tell if I was being productive since there's no one or no way to measure my days or time. I began investing $10,000 just to become a life coach. And it was a natural next step of my career. Then I gradually realized that when I lived for my values, what mattered to me, what felt right every day, and I've gone on to invest tens of thousands of dollars over 5 years to be able to deliver my breakthrough message to help free others of boredom, time overwhelm, and emptiness. To begin to know yourselves deeply so that you become energized and focused. Individual coaching sessions for my unique services can range as high as $500 per session. However, I made the investment for my inner spark package sessions more affordable at $1,000, and it takes less time, but we'll talk about money later. I'm here to help you live the life you most desire. Your renewed sense of self will transform your life in as little as 2 weeks. Now, if I accept you, I help you realize that once you're the boss now in retirement, your time, calendar, social life, life transitions, who you are without your jobs and your colleagues, your self management, and your support foundation is all up to you now. Without these tips, people get stuck. You have to motivate yourself. I'm here to inspire, provoke you, excite you, and light your fire for the transformation you most want today. From all my experience and research that I've done, I've come up with 6 common areas that trip people up in retirement. Are you open to learning some ways to handle what these areas are and why they can trip you up? These valuable tips today will help you save time, frustration, and money. Believe me. So grab a pen and paper and to learn how to overcome what's stopping you from living the life you want. So here are the 6 tips I found that get in the way of being your best self in retirement. Number 1, overcoming being lonely is your most important tip today. Staying socially active is critical and essential for your overall well-being and quality of life. So let's talk about this. Timothy B. Smith, a professor of counseling psychology at Brigham Young University, says we experience a much higher quality of life, including improved physical health, when we maintain a strong social network, especially family relationships. Simple and regular outings could be trips to the local shopping centers, the libraries, the coffee shops, the parks. They open the door for social interaction and exposure to new environments. And you can't get that from watching TV now or YouTube now, can you? I've got some reminders to get you over the challenge to have interesting interactions. Smile and make eye contact. This is simple and easy, yet powerful. Use open-ended questions like who, what, when, how, where the answer isn't a simple yes or no. Listen intently and show genuine interest, like nodding or saying, I see. A good conversation bounces back and forth, like a give and take or a ball between listening and sharing. My sister did all the talking, and I quit calling her because she wouldn't allow me to talk. What to share? Things like your personal stories, comment on your surroundings, pay compliments, ask about family, hobbies, events, or a person's past. Don't forget to respond with warmth and understanding. Recreation usually involves others and does count as being social, and involving others like your neighbor, your grandkids, your brother, or even strangers helps prevent depression, Alzheimer's, and other types of dementia. Intellectual conversations, say like over a game of cards, help to keep your mind sharp. Do you know friendly people? Ask a friendly person to help you meet new people. Finding social events that interest you will be critical. Maybe you'll learn new knowledge and skills in a woodworking class while also having fun. You see, making senior friends and staying socially active is quite easy if you're willing to venture out and try new things. Prove that you can teach an old dog new tricks. Why social activities are vital? Because they help ward off loneliness and feelings of isolation. Consider it a remedy, a prescription, preventative medicine, so that it doesn't turn out into depression, becoming an addict, or suicidal. Now, maintaining your social well-being can turn into a host of mental and physical rewards. Longevity allows you to be there for your grandkids and loved ones. Fewer doctor visits, a better immune system, and quality of life. Being more focused and energetic too. So get out there and be committed to being social. Now, here's some tips. Don't let barriers like transportation, mobility issues, or anxiety about meeting new people stop you. Be patient, understanding, and have a willingness to adapt to your new choices and or make new ones. This social planning will not be a walk in the park. There will be times when you feel awkward or uncomfortable. Understand this is a process of change and be willing to change. Oh, and no complaining here. Soon you'll start enjoying being around people again and enjoying life. All right, my second tip is about being too busy. Could your grandkids be keeping you too busy with their birthdays and games and celebrations and functions? Plan your days around what's important to you. Learn to say no and review your commitments and activities regularly. What activities could be dropped? What activities could be simplified? Once had a hard time telling a coworker no. She was pulling me in too many directions, like at the grocery store or bistro after work. So I started filling my calendar with my plans first, with what was important to me. And it made me no longer be available for everything she wanted me to do. And it was much easier than to say no. Or you could start by making your own list for the day so your priorities come first. By saying yes to yourself, you are practicing self-care, really practicing self-care, prioritizing the things that bring you the most joy. Now, remember, that goal is not necessarily to eliminate busyness entirely, but rather to find a healthy balance that allows you to enjoy your activities while taking care of yourself. Tip number 3 is knowing how to handle boredom. Overcoming boredom is another critical tip. Sherry Turkle says boredom is your imagination calling to you. I like that a lot. Boredom comes from time overwhelm and is cured by being curious and exploring subjects that intrigue you. Truth be told, what's going to get you out of bed or out of the house in the morning? Dale Carnegie says we rarely get tired when we're doing something interesting and exciting. Now, there are many facets to yourself, and exploring them can help you better cope with experiences like stress, depression, or a sense of loss or identity. Now, I help you remember who you are. It's important to embrace and derive value from other roles in your life, like hobbies and activities, talents and relationships. In school, what were you known for? What hobbies have you developed, or what interests do you have or could excel at now? What topics of conversation are engaging for you, like music or books or sport teams? Or what could you coach and teach others in? In order to turn around boredom and improve your energy levels throughout the day, you must come to understand there's 2 sides to the energy coin. The first side of the energy coin presents you with a list of energy depleting habits, activities, and characteristics. The opposite side of the coin presents energy enhancing habits and activities that promote a greater sense of fulfillment and well-being. So negative people are draining. Boredom and discontent will rob you of energy. Your mindset can lead to tiredness and fatigue from things like grief, fear, sadness, guilt, loneliness, hatred, resentment, jealousy, depression, and anger. Even overeating leads to fatigue. But energy enhancing mindsets and habits are like fresh water, green tea, vegetables, herbs, seeds, peas, beans, lentils, supplements, minerals, antioxidants, and iron. A mindset of empowering beliefs, self-help books, and inspirational books all touch our positive emotions. A positive and optimistic mindset will enhance your energy when you focus on gratitude, love, passion, and joy. Other things that play into having energy are regular exercise, being a key to long-lasting energy. Periods of relaxation reinvigorates your body too. Goals create motivation and inspiration, and detoxifying and fasting will also increase your energy. How about trying a new hobby? Do you have any hobbies? To combat boredom, let your mind run wild and dream. Be curious as a 3-year-old. Learn something new. Just imagine all the possibilities. Your values should determine your priorities. And deep down, they're probably the measures that you use to tell if your life is turning out the way you want it to. If we decide to work together, you will become active again and have focus. Your days will have meaning again and make a big difference for you and others. Tip 4 is feel invisible. Overcoming feeling invisible. My friend Jan was livid when her daughter started treating her like she was invisible. What changed? She no longer had a job. She didn't have a voice. She didn't matter. I can relate to feeling invisible. What helped me was speaking up in meetings or groups to share comments or ideas as if I was the only one. It wasn't just for me, but I was also doing it for those who were too shy or fearful to speak up and express themselves. Your mindset really matters during this time. You could think of it as a game, like a caterpillar who becomes an egg and a chrysalis before emerging then as a butterfly. Become curious about what wants to emerge from your heart. I didn't realize what was trying to emerge for me when I started coaching classes. The first day I told a story about my intent to wear a hat to my friend's upcoming birthday party. My instructors that day invited me to bring this hat to class the following day. Wow, that opened the door for me to share my collection of hats briefly after each coffee break. Something was trying to emerge. Healing from feeling invisible starts with self-acceptance. What identity do you want to create? Give yourself open space, be curious, and expose yourself to new ideas. How do you want to be seen? What words come to mind? Giving, capable, smart, helpful? What are some small projects you can get involved in to show a new or to support a new identity, like learning to play the guitar and then spending an hour each day to learn something new on the guitar? Be patient with yourself while learning, though. Perhaps your end goal could be to play your favorite tune at a birthday party or at a senior center. Now, why does things like that matter to you? Can lead to finding a purpose and new energy. The energy that comes from inside leads to being willing to work harder and have more resilience because it matters to you. I was surprised recently when my cousin posted on Facebook about my new identity as she now sees me. She posted, "You bloomed and become so outspoken in retirement. Way to go. So proud of you. It become visible. Tip number 5 is wasting time. Knowing how to overcome wasting time. Could you say wasting time is impacting your ability to have the life you want? If you feel like you're wasting the best years of your life, yet stressed and anxious, you may not actually know for sure what you want. Maybe you're afraid to follow your heart. Being too busy in life may eventually lead to boredom because something else is tugging at your heart. You become suffocated, and you might even be going along with someone else's schedule or plan instead of your own. So, what does wasting time look like? Social media distractions that eat away time for more productive activities. Procrastination in delaying important tasks, and it increases stress. Multitasking, constantly switching between tasks leads to decreased focus. Unorganized and unplanned activities, doing things that are not your first concern, will scatter your efforts. Excessive meetings or chats without a clear agenda or purpose waste your time. Here's why. Identifying time wasters and taking steps to minimize them or eliminate them help you reclaim more of your time for meaningful activities. 2 self-care tips are: first, honor, listen, and respond to that little voice inside. Maybe you're sitting by a campfire quietly watching the flames or watching the waves roll in on the ocean, and a message comes to mind. Instead of dismissing it, honor it and be curious about it and ponder the possibilities. It could be your heart talking. Second, turn up the burner on your courage. It'll change everything. Become intentional about your time with the things that nourish your heart and spirit. Is there something you want to do that you never told anyone? Now is the time to be courageous and grow. Give yourself permission and take action. Tip number 6 is knowing how to overcome having no purpose. A guest on my Maximize Retirement podcast was experiencing a huge sense of loss of herself after divorce. When she vowed to do something for somebody else in 2000, a friend challenged her to do something it would overcome the pain she was in. He said, "Do what you do for charity." The result was partnering with Habitat for Humanity to build a house, 10 houses, 100 houses in Nepal. She found a new purpose. She went on to start and run the Unstoppable Foundation. So repurposing your skills and talents and success by working or volunteering for a foundation, charity, or community is so valuable in finding purpose. I wonder, where could a nonprofit have need for a pilot or an accountant or a mechanic? Where could your people skills solve a problem in your community? Since I enjoy driving for Lyft, I repurpose my driving by delivering food for the food bank for seniors. And volunteering and donating your time can include projects large or small, local or regional, weekly, or even seasonal options. Your purpose may require you to take risk. Be courageous, though, because it'll give you energy. Taking risk gives you energy. Are you open to repurposing your talent by doing what you do for charity? Even a Peace Corps assignment might be right for you. You think? Okay, I have a bonus tip. And have you ever considered your potential and ways to be happier? Many of us have never asked ourselves what our values are or what it would look like if we weren't living them. So we easily get lost. T.T. Davis says, by identifying what we need to do to live our values, we start becoming the person that we want to be. And it gets easier to love ourselves. As it gets easier to love ourselves, we begin to feel happier. It's not the things you value as they come and go. Your values guide you through life, no matter what. So when things that you do and the way you behave match your values, life is usually good. You're satisfied and content. But when these don't align with your personal values, that's when things feel wrong. This can be a real source of unhappiness, and we're usually not even taught about it. Some examples of values are compassion, honesty, integrity, selflessness, beauty, service, and adventure. My core values are authenticity, collaboration, love, and openness. Now, inner energy is the power of pure desire. Like your internal GPS, essence, or having a new heart understanding. I call it inner spark. When it's awakened, it often feels like a cool breeze and is known as self-realization. Self-realization is what it is to feel the energy within. And it's the key to improving your life in every possible way, including calmer, more relaxed, better balanced, and more centered. Potential refers to inherent capabilities and qualities that lead to a future development, growth, or achievement. Some ways is also use potentials rooted in innate abilities, the natural talents and strengths that come from a person. Potential implies future growth, the possibility of future growth or improvement. Shows there's room to grow skills, knowledge, or achievements beyond where we are. And then potential often involves untapped possibilities or opportunities that can be realized through effort, learning, collaboration, and dedication. In essence, potential involves the promise of what could be achieved or accomplished based on existing qualities and on growing and becoming your best, on getting jazz and doing more in life, like things on your bucket list, maybe. Now, the reason I started this program is because potential has intrigued me since my teens, and leaving untapped potential on the table is not okay with me. I help people value things about themselves that they've taken for granted, and I help them explore their true treasure. My happiness comes from the joy of unleashing others' dreams all over the world. The impact is incredibly changing nations. The Discover Your Spark, Rekindle Your Joy program I offer you today is incredible, rarely taught, priceless, yet it won't cost you the tens of thousands like it cost me, and it is affordable. You'll renew your sense of self, energy, vitality, and be motivated from the inside in the process for an investment of $1,000 today. Dale Carnegie says, you rarely get tired when you're doing something interesting and exciting. We use what you love to do, your personal qualities, your hot buttons, and aspirations, and mix them all with your specific values and guiding principles into a unique metaphor. There are 10 activities, 13 sessions that may include one-on-one coaching and a Facebook community group to collaborate in. Your mission, should you choose, is to discover your inner spark through your invisible assets in 90 days or less, so that you feel vital, whole, and valued. And imagine knowing what it takes to make you thrive, proud, confident, feeling like you have more to share with the world, and enjoying the grand feeling of loving life again. Now, module 1 is the spark chaser, engaging the world from your deepest joy and strength so that you reveal what makes your heart sing, and with concrete proof. Module 2 is weighing what to keep, explore, and revive so that life flows well for you. Module 3 is picture the golden egg so that you can align your decisions with what's meaningful, honors your life, and creates more crowning moments. And then module 4, we use symbolic imagining of your new heart so that the world's only and best you emerges as visible, a grand discovery. Here's how it works. If we decide to work together and I accept you, we'll start by figuring out what you want to see happen. We'll do Zoom call and record and meet as frequently as you like. We can start as soon as tomorrow or whatever works for your schedule. Now, I don't accept everyone. I have 2 questions for you. What's your why? And how can this desire affect your life? Are you in? You ready to get started? The way to get started will be posted in the comments below this video. Thanks for watching.